Those of you who know what Porter Cable is now, please forget everything about it, Kate. Right now, they've changed it into a homeowner brand. But look at this. Back in the day, they used to give tools a deserving box, one made out of steel. What you see here, you don't see warnings on here. You see directions and instructions. Keep blades sharp, grease once a week. Now what do you see? Put on safety glasses. Don't chop your hand off. We don't want to be sued because you don't know how to use the tool you're using. This was a tool built when men were men and sheep were scared. Oh wait, no, that's Wyoming. Right here, check this beauty out. Thing's solid aluminum. Porter Cable 508. I'm thinking this thing's from the 50s or so. This thing is fantastic. Got ourselves a period screwdriver, handy little guy, an Allen wrench to help with the blade changes. Up until a few hours ago, this thing was sporting the same cord that it had been sporting for probably the past 6 or 7 decades. There's a spot where you put the Allen wrench that holds that shaft in place while you take a 7/8 inch end wrench and loosen that. You loosen these 3 screws, you pull this plate off, take the guard lift up, take the blade off, put the blade back on. I mean, when's the last time you saw this much pride put into an American-made tool? Wait, when was the last time you saw a true American-made tool? Not in our generation, fellas and ladies. But this guy right here probably cost $100 back then. These things changed the job site. They're not just built of good materials, but they're well built. Listen to the ka-chunk on this thing. That is the real deal. That is a real switch right there. Aluminum castings. Look at that base plate on there. That chunk of aluminum. You look at them now, they were cast and all this. They took an actual plate and they formed it to just beautiful. A real live plate riveted on. When do you see that now? If you're lucky, you're gonna get a metallic sticker put on. You know, they do that for their branding right there, but for the actual information, a proper tag. Right there, we've got our spot for the lube. Even on modern saws have this, a good quality one should. And so you turn the saw on and you twist that, always time for lubrication. Also right here on the end, there's also, you take this off, you put a little bit of lube in there and tighten that down. A little bit of preventative maintenance that you perform for these things, but as you can see, what do you get? You get a tool that lasts the test of time. And not only is it just built like a brick house, but the fit and finish is fantastic on it. Someone took pride in this. Where are you gonna find something like that? Been ground nicely all over, it's been finished. It's like somebody actually thought, hey, let's make something to last a lifetime. Right now, things are made to meet a price point. Unless you're buying the high-end stuff, you're not even gonna touch the quality of this thing. Porter Cable used to be a professional tool brand, and then what kind of ruined it was DeWalt came out. Funny story about DeWalt. DeWalt realized what they had to do to be perceived as a good quality tool is they had to be priced like a good quality tool. That was part of their marketing strategy. Because it's expensive, it must be good. And it worked for them, it worked really well. This is one of those times where it's, hey, buy our stuff because it's good. Kind of like Hilti. These guys aren't trying to engineer obsolescence. They were trying to build a good quality machine that lasts a lifetime. And last through generations, not through 5 to 6 years. When this was bought, at that time, it was probably like spending $1,000 on a saw. Oh yeah. Just pure raw power and quality bearings. Look at that, you can actually change the brushes out. They made them so you didn't throw the thing away when you're done and buy a new one. They aren't disposable. They're made to be repaired. They're also made so that there could be self-maintenance done by us dumb carpenters, right? Us little wood butchers. I believe this is a 1990s era Porter cable when they were still making professional tools. We can complain about how things should be, but luckily with this, we can talk about how good things are. Most circular saws, okay, they have a pivot point up here, and so to raise and lower their blade, you have to pivot the machine. Problem with that, change that angle to dangle while you saw. So as you go, if you rotate that up, your hand kind of has to change position. So here, you loosen that knob, and you raise, and you can lower the blade. That takes a lot more machining, a lot more engineering, a lot more time. Luckily, same feature on this saw. If you've got one of these or you used one of these, let me know in the comments below, and we can reminisce about the good old times. Anyway, and if I end up with one of my daughters that ends up really liking woodwork, she's going to inherit quite the saw. There's a quick look at a throwback